Welcome back to the Party Package, your number one place for professional wrestling content, hosted by yours truly, the savior of entertainment and the prophet of professional wrestling. Today we are going over AEW Double or Nothing predictions. The pay-per-view is this Sunday. I will be attending in person, luckily, and I am going to give my view on what is going to happen, my picks for the show, and I got all dressed up because it's in Vegas. In Vegas, Double or Nothing. I don't know, I guess. Whatever. So, AEW Double or Nothing coming up this Sunday. We're going to go over the matches, and I'm going to tell you my picks and what I think the outcome is and whatnot's going to go on. So, first match, the buy-in. The only match right now on the buy-in, which I'm pretty sure there's going to be another. Pretty sure Chris Statlander and Red Velvet's going to be added to that on, I guess, today because it's Friday. So, that's my guess because there's no way it's only going to be one match, but who knows. But the only match right now confirmed as of Friday at 10 is Hookhausen versus Tony Nese and that idiot lawyer, what's his stupid name? Mark Sterling, smart Mark Sterling. I don't understand why he's around. He's like not good at anything. Not to be mean, but like he doesn't talk well. He doesn't do anything, and he's got a stupid. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me. But this is like the easiest pick in the world. I don't know why. I mean, I do know why this match is happening, but I get the joke is that Danhausen can't fight, and so they put in his injured manager, Mark Sterling, as his equal. But, I mean, this is going to be the easiest match in the world. Hookhausen's going to win. It's probably going to be amazing. I'm 100% sure that Dan is going to pick up the... He's going to pin whoever. Hook is probably going to do some cool move or whatever, and then he's going to let Danhausen get the pin. I think that'll be really fun, and, I mean, this match has no real story implications. Nothing's going to come out of it other than them being friends afterwards. So, this match is just going to strengthen their bond together. So, moving on to the main card, because, well, if Red Velvet and Chris Statlander happens, I think it's going to, I'm pretty 100% Chris Statlander's going to win, and Red Velvet should not win anything because she's not very good, and she almost kills herself every time she gets into the ring. So, first up on, as BR Live has it listed, is the House of Black versus the Death Triangle. This match is going to be insane. This is going to be one of those matches where just, this whole show is made of matches that are just going to be awesome. Like this show, like Revolution, I would say it was more like story matches, like with real like stories, like Eddie and Jericho and Hangman versus Cole. But this match, I mean, I know these two teams have been like having like a whole story for the past couple months and weeks, but I mean, they haven't really. This match is mainly just to have a match and between these two teams to put on a crazy show, and they're gonna be great. Now, my pick for this is I mean, House of Black has to win, right? And I'm pretty sure they're gonna win with their newest member coming out and cheating to help them win. And I don't know who that might be. Julia, that might be someone else. They're like fourth guy, so maybe it's four guys and Julia. But the House of Black is gonna win. This is gonna be their like first pay-per-view match. This is gonna be their first like real test. And I mean, I know Ray Phoenix is gonna Ray and Pac and Penta are all gonna tear down the house. But the other it's gonna be like a Roman Reigns match. I feel where the Death Triangle are going to really run the match until the final end, where like Brody King is probably gonna like just like kill a couple people. He gets staggered, and then probably what's his name, Buddy Matthews comes in, then his finisher, and then Ray Phoenix does like a flying thing to kill him, but then he turns around and Alistair does a black mass or whatever it's called, and then pins him for the win. It's going to be one of those type of matches where they're going to eat all the pain. I mean, they're going to do, of course, some offense. They're going to show off like Brody King flying through the ropes because he's a big guy. It's going to be a great match. It's going to be a crazy match, but really no story implications after this, other than I think the House of Black is going to get one more member in this match to help them cheat to win. So, easy pick there. Not anything exciting other than the match itself. Next is the Hardys versus the Young Bucks. Now, I have, not to spoil, but I have the shirts that I've picked to put on up here for who I'm pretty sure, without a doubt, are going to win. The Young Bucks are not going to lose to the Hardys. It's just not going to happen. So, Young Bucks are going to go over in this match. It's going to be a crazy match. The Hardys are going to make up for their age and like their diminished skill from when they used to be younger. They're going to make up for it by doing crazy stuff all over the place. And it's going to be crazy. This is not going to be this is going to be a spot fest. This is going to be just crazy move after crazy move. It's not going to be anything technical. Matt might try to do something, but then he's not going to really be able to do anything. But this is just going to be move spot after spot. Jeff's going to probably jump from the top rope, followed by like Nick going over the rope to land on him, and then Matt jumping through the ropes, and then finally the other Matt, you can take it in whatever order, and then goes over the rope again. It's just going to be them killing each other one after the other. This is going to be a crazy match because it's not going to be this is going to be like, you know how like the Lucha Brothers and the Young Bucks last match that they had, was all technical, was all skill wrestling. Well, this is going to be like that, but like just more killing themselves, I guess. I don't know how else to put it other than that, because this is just going to be Jeff just doing his crazy stuff, Matt, and then Nick. It's just going to be just all over the place. High flying. That's what it's going to be. It's just going to be a lot of jumping, and it's going to be awesome. Not really any big story here. I have a feeling maybe that the Young Bucks win, and maybe Jeff and Matt get mad at each other, and maybe there's kind of a tension thing between the brothers, or maybe, I'm sure that the more likely outcome is that they're gonna be all like friendly afterwards, and they're gonna like shake each other's hands, because it's like, well, we were used to, the Young Bucks are taking over their role. Even though that's been like the thing forever, because they already had this match in TNA a little while ago. So it doesn't really make any sense. I mean, this match makes sense to have. I mean, it's the two teams. Like, this is the dream match of tag team wrestling. But there's no really way to go from this match. Either there's only two outcomes. The Young Bucks win, and then they just shake hands afterwards in respect. Or maybe, potentially, that the Jeff and Matt have some problems, or maybe they kind of start breaking, and maybe they start, what did they call him when Matt came over the first time? He wasn't broken. He was, what was he called? He was not shattered. Was it shattered? It wasn't shattered. They couldn't call him broken, so they called him something else, but maybe they get messed up from this match. Maybe they get mad after just flying from ladders and stuff and going through tables, and maybe they start to crack, and maybe this is the start of the last run of Brother Nero and Broken Matt. That would be awesome. That would be the coolest outcome possible. And maybe after this match, the Young Bucks are a little bit more, because I will tell you what I think happens at the end of the show and all that, and where I think all this leads to, which is going to be part of the whole story, but I'll get there when I get to that match. So, Jericho, the JAS, Jericho Appreciation Society, versus the Blackpool, not the British Combat Club, the Blackpool Combat Club, Santana, Ortiz, and Eddie Kingston. They should just call it the Gang, because that's like their whole gimmick, is that they're the Gang. John and Eddie and Santana Ortiz, that's like their gimmick. Which is dumb. It's a dumb gimmick. But anyways, it should just be it. Where is Yuta hurt? I think he's hurt. But where is he? Like, why wouldn't he be at all involved in any of this? Was that the original plan? I don't know. But this match, I have no clue who's going to win. I'm pretty sure my pick to win this is Jericho, because I have a feeling that, but see, if Jericho wins, this is going to be the type of thing where they're probably going to continue the feud then, which I don't think is going to happen. This is going to be a one and done. So, I feel like Jericho can't, he's obviously going to do the fireball thing, and he's going to go, he's a wizard. But okay, so Jericho wins, right? Where does everyone go? If Jericho wins, nothing really happens for JAS. They'll just come out and they're going to be like, we're better than everybody. We're the best, blah, blah, blah. And then whatever. But the real outcome if they win is that William Regal will be really mad at Brian and John and probably whip him into shape or something. So, like, that would be kind of interesting. But on the other hand, if they win, then what's the real outcome? Like, Jericho doesn't really... Neither team really gets anything out of winning this match, you know? Like, they're not going to, like, advance in the tag team titles. They're not going to, like, elevate their status, either team who wins. So, I don't really know what I have a feeling that Jericho's going to win because I think they need to have... Well, no, that wouldn't make sense. I was going to say that they need more heels to win these matches, but I don't really think... I feel like a lot of heels are going to win tonight. Or, I guess, Sunday. So, I don't know. I always think about, like, what the outcome is and, like, what is going to be the results of this in the booking ideas. And I don't really know. Neither team really progresses by winning. You know? So, it's kind of hard to tell. Because, like, it's the same thing with, like, Death Triangle and the House of Black. Because if the House of Black win, it's like they solidify themselves as a strong force. If they lose, then they're just duds. And the Lucha Brothers, I mean, if the Lucha Brothers lose, we already know they were just the tag team champions. Like, they're not going to lose any credit. The House of Black would, so the House of Black has to win. Jericho's team doesn't need to win, because their whole gimmick is that they're kind of jokes. So, I don't know. I feel like the right move... If I was in charge of booking this match, I would make Jericho win because it's in Vegas. His whole gimmick, his whole club type thing right now is kind of a Vegas-y vibe. But in an Anarchy in the Arena match, like, the gang has to win, right? Like, that would be the most making sense thing. So, I guess my final prediction is that the gang wins. And probably, like, outside the ring. Or is that going to be a rule that you have to win in the ring? I don't know. But it's going to be, like, Jon Moxley killing Jericho or... Yeah, it has to be Jericho, right? Jericho has to eat the pin because it would be kind of boring if someone else did. So moving on from that, we're going to MJF versus Wardlow. First real big match that we got. And this story has been awesome. This week's show with the cage match, last week with the lashes, this has been a phenomenal story. And I know that everyone thinks Wardlow is going to win this, and he probably is going to, but I would not be... So, what is the... Okay, so the outcomes, like, at, like, their standards, MJF's rules, is that if Wardlow loses, he has to work for free or something. He has to work forever underneath MJF. But if Wardlow wins, then he gets released from his contract. So, Wardlow has to win, right? So, that's the only thing that makes Wardlow win. There's no way he loses that. If I was in charge of booking things, I wouldn't have put that stipulation. But it makes sense because MJF is a meanie. So, like, Wardlow's going to win. He's going to win. It's going to be a quicker match than I think people were. This is going to be almost a squash match. MJF's going to try to run around the ring. It's going to be like a 10-minute match because he's going to do a lot of running away, and he's going to try to do a cheaty thing to win, and he's probably going to hit him with the ring, put him into the salt of the earth, or is that still what the name of it is? But then Wardlow's going to be like the first guy to, like, well, not the first, but he's going to break out of it and then kill Shawn Spears, who I'm guessing is going to be out there to help him, and then he's going to do the symphony of power bombs to MJF. He's probably going to put him through a table. This is going to be a squash match, really. So, this is, I mean, it's an easy match. Like, Wardlow's going to win. I almost was going to put my MJF shirt up here before I did it, this, and I really thought yesterday, before I thought about the stipulations in place, that MJF had a chance of winning this, and I think it would be kind of interesting to do, because then Wardlow, hasn't really proved himself. But that's the thing, is that Wardlow is like the Braun Strowman. He doesn't need to prove himself. He is just the beast. So that is an easy pick. Wardlow's going to win. It's going to be it's going to be a fun match. It's going to be a match where he's going to be at some point he's going to be begging for his life, which is going to be fun, and then he's probably going to do the power bombs. Or maybe he loses the ring, goes reaching for it, and then I bet this is going to be something that happens. At some point, MJF's going to get the ring. He's going to lose it and drop it, and Wardlow's going to step on it, and MJF's going to be begging for mercy, and then Wardlow's going to he's going to go no way. He's not going to tease him fine. He's going to just go no way. He's going to kick the ring, or maybe he picks it up and throws it in the crowd, and it's not actually the real ring because that thing's made of real diamonds, and then he does the power bombs and wins. I bet it's going to be 10 minutes or less. There's no way it's a big long match, because if they're going to make Wardlow the beast, that he's got to win in a quick match. So next up we got Adam Cole, baby, versus Samoa Joe. Joe, the king, with the coolest theme song right now in the Owen Hart finals, Owen Hart tournament finals, Owen Hart Cup tournament finals. So, this match, as you can, if you've noticed behind me, I'm picking Adam Cole, baby, to win this one. It's going to be obvious. I think AEW's plan, which I guess I'll just talk about the other match as well. So the other Owen Hart Cup Finals match, got it right that time. Britt Baker is against, well, that hasn't been decided yet, because it's Chris Statlander versus Ruby Soho. Well, Britt's going to win regardless of who it is. My guess is that Chris is going to lose from Red Velvet cheating. My guess this for Rampage tonight is Red Velvet's going to come out and cheat and screw Chris Statlander, which is going to set up a match for Sunday for the buy-in. And Ruby's going to go to the finals because I think they're going to make Chris Statlander their, next. She's going to be the Wardlow of the women's division. So I think they don't want her to lose in the finals yet. So Britt is going to win, and then we're going to get the power couple, and they're going to be all arrogant, they're going to be all annoying, and it's going to drive the Young Bucks insane, because the Young Bucks at the end of this match tonight that they're going to have are going to be kind of more faces. They're going to be finally, leaning towards good guys again. I think they're going to finally, start brightening up after they beat their heroes on pay-per-view. So what's going to happen, which is going to start making the rift between Adam Cole and the Young Bucks, the Undisputed Era versus the Elite, is going to be these two win. Britt is going to be more involved with these guys, which is going to make Rebel and well, maybe not Rebel, but Jamie mad, because maybe she's going to be kind of left out because Britt is more involved with them. This is just my fantasy booking here. And they're going to be really annoying. The Young Bucks are going to not be the center of attention. They're not going to get Adam's time. And, of course, the Undisputed Era is going to stick with Adam. And Young Bucks are going to be kind of sad. Not sad, but kind of, annoyed. And at some point, I don't know if Kenny shows up tonight, or if he shows up at the Forbidden Door show, or when he shows up. I've been trying to figure out where I would put him in tonight's show, and what would make the most sense, and I have no idea. Because the question is, seeing him on Being the Elite the last times he's been on it, he's, not very happy with Adam Cole. He's kind of, annoyed by the Elite right now. So I guess the question is, does he come back on their side, and then, he's kind of got a problem with them, and he starts to split, and the Kenny and the Young Bucks, and probably Adam Page, side with them, and they all split, and it's the Undisputed Era versus the Elite, which has been always what we always wanted. And maybe Roderick Strong comes over at some point, or maybe that's what they're waiting for. I don't know, but that match is going to happen at some point, and these two are going to win. It's going to be the power couple. Britt's going to easily beat Ruby. She's going to beat her. She's going to be the biggest crowd reaction of the night. Adam Cole's going to beat Samoa Joe, probably in a cheating fashion. I couldn't see Samoa Joe losing to Adam in a fair fight. Not like super cheaty, but I feel like Kyle O'Reilly's going to come out because that sets it up itself is Kyle's going to be annoyed that he lost that match to the Samoa Joe, and he's going to want to get his revenge and help out his buddy. So that's already set up before. So Adam Cole's going to win that. Britt's going to beat Ruby Soho, and they're going to, I bet, if depending on which one happens first, my bet is that Britt's match happens first, and then Adam wins later, and then, or vice versa, it doesn't really matter. And then whoever was the later match wins. I bet they come out either on the ramp or to the ring, and then they like kiss in the ring and like to Ty and Sammy thing and be all annoying. And they're gonna have two annoying couples. So that's gonna be my call between that. So those are that writes itself, that writes itself, because it would be kind of weird if Samoa Joe and Ruby win, because like Samoa Joe's already got the Ring of Honor title. Ruby Soho does nothing. Chris Statlander isn't. I feel like she's not gonna beat Britt clean, and Britt is their top star. Like, it's just not gonna happen, especially in Vegas. Britt's gonna come out, do her whole entrance thing. She's gonna look like a star, especially on a pay-per-view in Vegas. It's gonna be like. Her gimmick kind of is like not Vegas. I mean, it's a dentist, but her fireworks and stuff. Like, she's got the go big stuff going on. So moving on from those two matches, we got the other girls. Oh, I guess there's 3 girls matches. So Jade Cargill versus Anna Jay. As much as Anna should win this match, there's no way Jade's going to lose this match without a story going into it. I know there's a sort of story. That's kind of been AEW's problem, is that they have a tough time actually, making stories for matches until, the final, couple weeks, which is kind of weird and strange, and they shouldn't do. I don't know why that's what they do, but that's been the problem of theirs, and Anna is going to go in. As much as she's lost, I mean, maybe Double or Nothing's the pay-per-view that Jade loses in, but there's no... Anna would be, because she's the Queen Slayer. That's her gimmick, is the Queen Slayer. So it would make the most sense that she's the one to slay the queen who's undefeated in matches on Double or Nothing. And that's her second, and Double or Nothing, this is the second time she's going to be fighting Jade for the title. So it kind of, that writes itself as well. So if this match had more of a story going into it, but maybe this is going to be like a Lucha Brothers and Young Bucks thing, because they really didn't have a story in the final 2 weeks. I mean, of course, those two teams write a match themselves, but Anna and her, it writes itself. I'm going to go Double or Nothing to win the title. It's my second time going around. Double or Nothing. Maybe she puts something on the line. If I lose, well, that's already gone. You can't do that now. But... you know what? Screw it. I've changed my mind. Anna's going to win, not because I love her, but because I think they're going to start, because she's the Queen Slayer. That's her gimmick's name. She's going Double or Nothing, because this is the second time she's fighting Jade. And AEW has had a history of changing titles without really a story going into it, or at least a story that's kind of half-baked and hasn't really been put into character, really. Because I don't know who else would take the title off of Jade. I mean, maybe Tony Storm or Chris Statlander. And my hat fell. Maybe that's what they do end up doing, which would be good too. But on pay-per-view, the next one's so far away, they're going to just keep building up Jade. And I'm sorry, Jade is not... I put wrestlers on 3 things. In-ring talent, promo, and packaging. She's got packaging, which includes looks and stuff, down. Her music is kind of dull. I think they should change it up a little bit. I like the idea of it, but I wish it was more I wish it was a little more extra. But her in-ring ability, I know it's gotten a little better, but they need to simplify her. Because I know Luchasaurus and stuff, they say well, I'm a big guy, but I can do cool stuff. Right. Jade is big, but she can't do cool stuff. They need to make her fighting more monster-like. She needs to just go in there and her kick, her big boot thing, whatever you want to call it, is when she does the bro kick is awesome. That's a great move. She needs to be like Goldberg. Just have, like, but more, like, have, like, 5 moves, you know, just a lot of, like, just beating up your opponent moves. And then her finisher's kind of lame as well. For being, like, a big person, or, like, she's like the She-Hulk. That's what I would call her. And she should have a cooler move than the up and then down. Like, that was, like, Brie Bella's finisher or something. Or that was Lana's finisher. You can't be a undefeated wrestler with Lana's finisher. Just saying. Just saying. So, I would love to see Anna win. Not just because it's Anna, but because I think Jade's time needs to end. And I think maybe Jade's the next one to take the title off of Thunder Rosa. Or at least that's what they're building it up to, even though they shouldn't. Because Jade... I don't like Jade. I don't care. So, I'm going to pick Anna because I don't like Jade. And also, in my head, it makes the most sense. And it'd be kind of cool because it all fits. It writes itself. That's what I go off of. It writes itself. So, now we've got the... So, there's no TNT title match yet. But I mean, that match has to happen, right? Is that not gonna? I thought this whole thing was gonna be Scorpio and Paige versus Sammy and Ty. I thought that was gonna be the match, but that hasn't happened yet. What the hell? I don't understand. And there still isn't a match. So maybe Rampage tonight, they say something about that. They're like, okay, Sammy, listen, you and me and Paige, and then they snap and the lights go out. I don't get it. I don't understand where they're going with this story. I just don't understand. It makes no sense to me. So either they have Scorpio versus Sammy, which is just fine too, or I thought it was going to be an intergender match. I don't know. That's kind of weird that it's not a match yet. Maybe are they waiting for, like, Paige Van Zandt to have, like, an opening or something? She's not doing anything. It's not like she's a current fighter or anything. She's signed with AEW. So I don't understand what happened. I don't know. No one... Oh, wait. Sammy got injured, right? But that was, like... I don't know. That's so confusing. At least have, like, Ty versus Paige. It's just weird. It makes no sense. There should have been something there. Okay, next up, so I was going to go into it. So that was, TBS title match, Anna wins. So that was the first championship match. Second championship match, the tag team titles. You've got Jurassic Express versus Ricky and Team Taz, whatever, Ricky and Powerhouse. Powerhouse. It's cool. Both of their... Team Taz is just... They need to be the stable of everything. They are the best. Team Taz with Hook, Ricky, and Powerhouse Hobbs. And now Danhausen, I guess, if Hook's with him. Like, that is a team. Like, that... They've got comedy, they've got skill, they got power, and they've got stardom. All in that. Every one of them. It's insane. It's insane. That should be... I totally forgot about Hook in my top 5 future stars video. But, I mean, that whole team could be, like, the next, like, Bullet Club or something, like, to go into the mainstream. Because, like, those guys are stars. But anyways, and then they called them Limitless Swerve, which is a really funny name. I was trying to come up with a name for them. And I think Limitless Swerve was one of the names that I came up with, or, like... I think I came up with, like Swerve Lee, which I thought was a funny name. Or maybe, like, I don't know. That's a funny name. So this match, I think, is going to be the show stealer. Because you've got all the elements in this match. You've got Jungle Boy. He's going to do all his flippy stuff, you know, doing all his nuts. And you got him... to do all the crazy moves. Swerve can do it too, but just not so much as good as Jungle Boy. And then you've got the power in Keith Lee, the Luchasaurus, and Powerhouse Hobbs. So you've got everything, like, you've got, and all of them are different. You've got, like, the real Powerhouse and Powerhouse Hobbs. You've got the building of Keith Lee, and you've got the big guy who can do cool things, Luchasaurus. This match is going to be the show stealer, I think. This is going to be the match of the show. It's going to be so much fun, and I can't wait for it. Now, who wins this match? It would be kind of cool. Jurassic Express isn't going to retain because he's going to lose, and it's either going to set up for after the match or like on Dynamite. Christian's going to like turn on Jungle Boy or Jungle Boy turns on him. They're going to collapse. Jurassic Express is going to collapse. And there's going to be, I don't know if Luchasaurus and Jungle Boy split, but for sure there's going to be a thing between them. So between, it would be kind of cool to see Keith Lee and Swerve have the titles. They would be fun, but I feel like they are, but I don't know, they've been really good together. But Ricky Starks and Powerhouse Hobbs, like, could you imagine them holding the titles and having, like, real titles? Ricky would be a 2-belt guy, Hobbs holding the belt. Like, they would be awesome, too. Like, if I was to pick who I wanted to win, I would pick Team Taz. But who do I think is gonna win? I feel like they're gonna... I have no idea. I feel... Who have they been trying to... Okay, so what happens after this show? So, Jungle Boy and that is going to happen. So, if Keith Lee and Swerve lose, what happens to them? Do they separate? Are they going to, like, on Dynamite be like, we're good? And they, like, do that, and then they walk away, and, like, they go on their own separate paths. And then maybe in, like, the future, like, a couple months from now, they're like, oh, look, he's in trouble, and so is he. They teamed up. Woo! Or, so that's if they lose. So if Ricky Starks and them lose, what happens? Is Team Taz going to be mad and maybe, like, Hook's, like, the really good one of the group, and they're all like, maybe, and then they're like, well, oh, maybe there's, like, a tag team, like, feud in between Team Taz where it's, like, Hookhausen. And, oh, what if that sets up, what if Ricky and Hobbs win, and then it sets up, like, Hookhausen wanting to go after the tag titles? That's what's going to happen. I'm calling it. That's what's going to happen. My pick is Ricky and Powerhouse Hobbs to win. It's going to set up Hookhausen going after the titles, and that's going to be at, like, what's the next, would it be All In, or All Out, or whatever the hell? It's one of those two. What's over there? Stadium, no. Whatever happens next. It's going to set up that. That's going to be the match at the next pay-per-view. And that's going to be hilarious. That is going to be what's going to happen. I'm calling it. Ricky House. Ricky. That's their name. Ricky House. Absolute powerhouse. That's probably their better name. Team Taz wins the tag titles. Hookhausen win tag team matches. It sets up a feud between them. And maybe... But I don't want them to break up. I don't know. That's going to be really fun to see happen. That's my call because that's what I want to have happen. So next up, we've got the Women's Championship match. Thunder Rosa versus Serena Deeb. Does anybody actually like Serena Deeb? Like I say, 3 things that I go off of for a wrestler. 1, in-ring skill. 2, promo. And 3, packaging. Thunder Rosa has all 3. She can talk, she can wrestle, and she has great packaging. She's perfect. She's got the perfect gimmick. She's got the look. She's got the music. Her music's great. And, I mean, her clothes that she wears, like her ring gear, and, like, just, like, this past week, she wore the cowboy hat and, like, the big, like, jacket thing. Like, she's a star. She looks like a star. Serena Deeb has nothing going for her. She's got that promo with Dustin on Rampage the other night, or Dynamite, whatever it was so boring and awful. And this week, oh my god, she's got nothing. She's in skill. I've seen people say, like, she's been putting on good matches lately. No, she hasn't. I don't care what you say. Is it because people feel bad for her? Because that's the only thing I can think of. She has nothing good going for her. And she looks like E.T. I'm just saying it. So, this match better go... I mean, it's going to go to Thunder Rosa. If it doesn't, I think I... This is going to be a terrible match. And I feel so bad for it because every time there's a women's match... the women's title match has been great. Because Britt Baker held the title. Then before her was Sheeta, who also sucks. So, they've been doing really good with them lately. And, of course, the second I get to go is when they put Serena Deeb in a match. Thunder Rosa is a star, not her. She's not the problem. She could go against anybody. Serena Deeb, no. So, Thunder Rosa better win. It's going to be a clean match. I think Serena's going to try to pull off some cheeky moves. She's going to be like, I'm the professor. I'm so smart. And she's going to try to do something nifty, and then she's going to fail, and Thunder Rosa's going to kick her in the face and win. I don't know what is Thunder Rosa's finisher? I know I can I know the second it pops into my head, I'm going to be like, yeah, that's it. Isn't it the it's like a running thing, right? She like runs and like into somebody. She like, is it like a knees thing? Is it like a knees? It's not a submission. Is it? No. You lost to her. What is it? You don't talk. You're a shirt. So, Thunder Rosa's going to win, and she better. So, finally, we've gotten to the main event. It's time. I meant to say, it's time. I forgot. For the main event. So, I have 2 shirts here. So, I picked who I thought was going to win for sure. So, Young Bucks obviously going to win. Young Bucks obviously going to win. Adam Cole and Britt Baker, I mean, this writes itself. I don't know who to put up for these shirts. Because I've got, just ran into the mic, CM Punk and Hangman. And I have no clue who's going to win this. Not a clue. I thought CM Punk was going to win. Because I thought he was going to turn heel on Hangman and win. Because he's been doing the heel stuff against CM Punk. He's kind of heelish when he goes... I mean, he's always heel when he goes to New York now. And he seems like a heel sometime. I mean, you go to Texas wearing that shirt, you're going to be a heel to the state for a little bit. For some people. But I don't know who to pick here. Because I think the winner of this match turns heel. I don't know which one it's going to be. Because up until this week, I was kind of doubting it, and now I know for a fact I don't know who it is. Because CM Punk, I thought was going to turn heel, because he's been playing heel sometimes. He's been being the heel sometimes. And heel Punk is better than face Punk, and we're waiting for that to happen. Hangman, the story of this feud so far, and then this is what I was complaining about on my Dynamite review, was that the story has been kind of that the fans are rather cheering for CM Punk, so Hangman's getting annoyed by that. So, and then this week they changed it, which then made me question it even more, because now Hangman's thing is that what he's going to do is that he's going to do everything he can to defend AEW from CM Punk. That's what this guy said. So, does that mean that at some point that CM Punk's going to seem like he's going to win, and then Paige does something cheaty and he's going to like low blow him and then do a whatever and the buckshot lariat and win? Is that what that means? Or does it mean that CM Punk is going to cheat and Hangman, it's going to be like this is going to be like a 30-40 minute match, I bet. It's going to go like a super long match. And what's going to happen is that CM Punk is going to really show off that he is the best in the world. And I think what's going to happen is that they're going to tease a Hangman turn, kind of like they did between him and Kenny. And they're going to tease like, oh, is he going to cheat? And he's going to be like, no, I'm better than that. And then CM Punk is like, I've had it. I've put everything I can. I'm dead. I can't take it anymore. And then he low blows him or something and wins. That's my call. It's going to go one of those two ways. But what I question is, what happens, what really decides it for me sometimes, but which is always sometimes my downfall because I always expect a little bit more from wrestling promoters than I should, is what happens in the one-way scenario. So, Hangman wins cheating, right? There's no way he wins clean. There's no way. One of these two guys wins as a heel. Because they're both faces, and one of them has been a face long enough, needs a turn. Well, yeah. So, let's say Hangman wins. So, Hangman wins as a heel. He goes on, now he's a bad guy. And he kind of has problems with the Dark Order, and he, like, kills them, which gets him heat, because everyone loves the Dark Order. And maybe that sets up, like, I don't know what that sets up, though, because then he has, like, challengers he could fight that are faces, and that opens up a lane for, like, I don't know, like Orange Cassidy, or that's just the first name that came to my head. It comes up with some potential feuds, but really, I don't know who that brings along, because who's, like, another face for him to fight? Maybe Kenny comes in as a face at the end of the match, and he's like, I expected more from you, Hangman. And then, like, he's disappointed he was going to come out and celebrate, and now he's, like, disappointed that he's a bad guy. Maybe that starts a feud between them again. But what I see more likely, and what's the better outcome, is CM Punk turns, right? Because, okay, let me go back a second. So, if Hangman wins, what happens to Punk? So, Punk's still a face. He loses in a desperate effort. He retires. I don't know, like, what else would the story be? Like, oh, I gotta redeem myself again. Like, who does he fight? Like, Jon Moxley? Like, this is the next step for him. Like, his path has been this. It only makes sense if he turns heel to win the title. So, if the other way around, so CM Punk turns heel and wins, then that opens up a whole avenue for him to fight everybody, right? And he can fight, like, maybe later on, which I'm going to make a video about, but I think if I was in charge, CM Punk wins, turns heel, and in a few months, MJF turns face, and he's like the most over face. He's like a Stone Cold Steve Austin because he runs down those guys and is with the fans, and he, like, takes it off CM Punk for his win back at a pay-per-view. That makes sense to me. And, I think that'd be really cool. I think that'd be the best moment that they could possibly do. What happens to Hangman if CM Punk wins as a heel is Hangman is kind of maybe he goes down his dark path again. Maybe he turns to drinking again. And maybe that means the Young Bucks feel bad for him. And Kenny comes back and he feels bad for Hanger. And he's like, it's okay, buddy, we're here for you. And maybe the Elite come back together, which is why I wore this shirt than one of those, because my feeling is that the Elite are going to come back together. Hangman loses as a face. And he's going to, like, go back to his dark place, the Dark Order and the Elite. And I think the Young Bucks are going to turn face soon because they've been kind of teasing it lately. And Kenny's definitely coming back as a face. So I think the Elite are going to come back together, the 4 strong. And, yeah. So the Elite come back together. Hangman's with them. He's like better. He's in a better place. He's going through the motions. In a few months, he like comes back together. They all hug. They all get together. And Adam Page, the other Adam, the rift between the two teams makes sense because the other Adam just lost to them, and he's like, "Why are you guys? Why are the Bucks signing with them?" It's a natural feud that would make perfect sense. Because the other way around doesn't lead to anything. CM Punk loses as a face, like, then what does he go on to do? Face Hangman again, then beat him as a face? That'd be kind of lame. So, my pick is going to be CM Punk wins as a heel. He can go on, he can face, like, Jon Moxley, he can face, everybody. He can face everybody as a heel, because no one out-heels CM Punk. He is worse than MJF as a heel. So is Cody, but Cody wouldn't turn heel. And a perfect story for Hangman to go on, and that's why I say the Elite win. I was going to wear an AEW shirt because I was just going to say that we win as fans because that would be the coolest outcome. Now, of course, that is if that happens, because we all know it's always disappointing what actually happens. But if I was in charge, that's what I would do. I think that'd be so cool. I think that would be the biggest thing they could do would be huge. And, they followed up with the Hangman storyline and Kenny. They did that right, so maybe they'll do this one right, too. So those are my predictions, and I have a bet. So I'm going in person. I'm gonna vlog it or whatever. I hate using that word, but I'm gonna vlog it, and maybe run into some people or whatnot. That'd be really cool to post on the channel. But I think what I'll do is I'm gonna have maybe I'll make like if I can get someone, I would like make a bet that I'll like wear this shirt or something. I don't know. What if I have like if I don't get like 50% of my things right, or if I don't get a passing, how many matches are there? Hold on. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 right now, and I added 2 more, so 13. So let's say if I don't get 10 out of 13 right, I have to wear this shirt for like a week for videos. That's a good one. Why not? That is my bet I'm putting on the line. Oh dear. Or I wish this would be like sooner, because maybe the bet will be I'll do that, but also if I lose, I have to wear this to the next live show I go to. That'll be it. That'll be the bet. So I have to wear that to in live show. Or maybe I pack it with me, and if I'm wrong, I'll put it on after the show is over and walk out of the building wearing this weird shirt. That's the bet. That is what I'm going to do. And yeah, so this has been my predictions for AEW Double or Nothing 2022. Gonna be there in person to see all this live. And I will say, because usually AEW matches, especially the main people matches, are always kind of really predictable, especially the AEW title. But this has been the first time, I think, ever, where I'm like, I don't know. Like, Kenny Omega had, like, really good matches where I was like, Adam Cole, like, I was pushing for some people to win, but I really knew that they weren't going to win. But this match, I really, like, there's, like, at least 5 matches that I have no clue who's going to win. It could go either way. And that makes me really excited as a fan, because I get to go and, like, because, like, you know, like, Kenny versus, like, Hangman, Hangman was going to win. It wasn't not going to happen. And that's really exciting. That's more exciting. And this is more exciting because you know someone's turning heel, and I'm going to get to see a real moment happen in person, because that is going to be a huge moment, especially if it's Punk. Hangman, I think, could be kind of boring because I don't know what it would lead to. So I've already been all over that. So I guess it's the perfect time to close out this video. So thank you for watching. If you liked watching this video, please pick up your free subscription down below. It's the same color as Britt Baker's face here. It's the red one that says subscribe. A little bell will pop up next to it. Please click that little bell. It'll give you notifications of when I make videos. And if you enjoyed, please leave a thumbs up. That's the like button. Don't leave a thumbs down, but you can go down below to the comment section and put your predictions or who you think's going to win at Double or Nothing, and tell me, what do you think of my predictions? What do you think about my stories that I made up for the aftermath of the show? And if you like them, and we'll come back to this in like 2 months and be like, well, let's see, was my stories better? They probably were. So thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting, suggesting, feedback, reviews, comments, concerns, rants, and opinions down below, liking and subscribing. And I guess till next time, thank you so much if you clicked on this video. It is really nice, and it makes me happy. And I guess next time you probably see this face, it'll be on a vlog, or unless I make a video between then and now, which I kind of doubt. I guess until next time, I have been the savior of entertainment and the prophet of professional wrestling, The Party. Ta-ta for now.